For local news, count on us. Live, NBC 29 News at 11 starts right now.
Good evening and thanks for staying up with us. I'm Dana Hackett. We begin tonight with an accident that shuts down part of the 250 bypass in Albemarle County. But there's a twist. The car involved was a suspect vehicle in a hit and run that happened earlier tonight in Charlottesville. The accident happened just after 9:30 near the Ivy Road exit. Police say the Honda CR-V was traveling in the southbound lanes when the driver lost control and then hit a guardrail. Crews had to use the jaws of life to free one of the two victims inside. They were both taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The accident shut down one of the southbound lanes of 250 for over an hour. Police say traffic should be back to normal about now. No word on any charges. While many of you probably spent today sitting back and relaxing, others in Central Virginia were hard at work trying to make enough to pay the bills. Many workers are hoping Congress will raise the minimum wage. NBC 29's David Douglas joins us live in our studio with more. David?
Dana, no one disputes that $5.15 isn't much money. Heck, it's hard to even buy a sandwich on that anymore. So would a $2 and a dime raise really help? One woman I talked to hopes so. Jessica Harmon is good at counting money. She has to be for her job as a store closer at a discount store in Albemarle County. But she wishes there was a little more to count when she takes stock of her personal pocketbook.
My starting pay here is $7.25.
That's $2.10 more than the current minimum wage. And it's the same amount that House Democrats hope to raise the bottom dollar to over 2 years.
The yeas are 315. The nays are 116. The bill is passed.
But
$7.25. Who the heck can live on that?
And Harmon says she knows firsthand how true that is.
Trying to sit there and pay bills and try to provide for myself, also with providing for my mom and my family.
Harmon knows plenty of people push themselves, working 7 days a week for the nation's lowest legal pay. She says she hopes they'll get help because she can only imagine how hard it would be making it by on a low wage like that.
I know a lot of people that would benefit here for the minimum wage. A lot of people would, because a lot of people are in debt because of, with the bills and the struggle of trying to live.
Of course, to raise to $7.25, that bill would have to pass the Senate. If it doesn't, state lawmakers have also raised the topic of boosting that bottom dollar.
All right, David Douglas, thanks for that report tonight. Married with children. Court documents show a priest suspected of stealing more than $600,000 from two Louisa churches was actually living a double life. Reports indicate that 50-year-old Rodney Rodas, a retired priest, was living with a wife and 3 children in Fredericksburg. Today, parishioners gathered for their first service since the news of the allegations.
Do this to the people who loved you so much.
A representative from the Diocese of Richmond held a Q&A session after Mass today. Parishioners addressed concerns from personal donations to counseling for children. The diocese has suspended Rodas. He is expected to be back in court on Thursday. A large portion of Route 15 could soon be designated as a National Heritage Area. Virginia Senator John Warner is introducing legislation with that intention. The road runs past a number of historic sites, including Monticello, Montpelier, Manassas, and Gettysburg. The 175-mile stretch of road also runs through the largest collection of Civil War battlefields in America. Warner calls the trip down the road the journey through hollowed ground. To state legislation now, state lawmakers are considering bills to regulate what children eat at school. The legislation is aimed at reducing childhood obesity. It would allow school administrators to measure body mass indexes among their youngest students. Lawmakers are also pushing for a comprehensive study of obesity schools across the state. Governor Tim Kaine touched on the topic during his State of the Commonwealth address last week. Just in time for the holiday, some of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s most intimate thoughts go on display for the world to see. More than 600 of Dr. King's personal papers will debut at the Atlanta History Center tomorrow on what would have been his 78th birthday. The collection includes the only known draft of his I Have a Dream speech. There are also sermons and thousands of pages that trace the evolution of his nonviolent philosophy for social change. And in observance of the holiday, locally, we'd like to tell you about some closings. In Albemarle County, government offices and courts will be closed tomorrow. And in Charlottesville, City Hall will also be closed. But CTS bus service and trash and recycling service will operate as normal. And in most localities, schools are also closed for the day. In Augusta County, residents are bringing in the coyotes, and the county is handing over the cash. The Coyote Bounty Program has proven to be a success. The program netted 256 kills last year. The county gave out more than $16,000 in reward money, and the county also paid federal trappers to bring in an additional 39 coyotes. Leaders say the program will continue. Residents can receive $75 for a coyote from January until April, and then after that you receive $50. More than 100 people contributed to the program last year. A Charlottesville artist putting his art in place has a whale's tale to tell. If you drive down Route 250 frequently, you've seen the slow and steady progress as this larger-than-life animal art has taken shape. Today, Tom Givens told us that his tall tale is almost finished. The sculpture is built of concrete, steel, and wood, not bones and blubber. And the whale will be on display through September and should be complete within the next 2 weeks. Well, love is in the air this weekend at the Stonewall Jackson Hotel in Stanton. Brides-to-be had the chance to browse and shop from booths packed with all their bridal needs. The hotel's second annual bridal show brought out hundreds of couples. More than 50 local businesses participated, displaying anything from cakes to pictures, music to place settings. And you could catch the latest bridal designs during a fashion show. And guys, they even had a chance to pick out the perfect tux. Well, coming up as we continue tonight, the fight for a free Iraq. The president's war plan continues to stir up some controversy. Plus, will that plan mean more troops from our state will be deployed to Iraq? The answer may surprise you. And Senator Hillary Clinton joins other congressional leaders in a special visit to Afghanistan to meet with the troops there. We've got all the details on the trip.
And a mild night on tap, and those mild temperatures continuing for tomorrow. But I got some news for you. Big changes on the way. Winter will be returning. I'll let you know when that happens when we come back.
Since 1973, Town & Country has provided prompt, reliable service and solid, proven construction details. Town & Country can help you establish, improve, and maintain excellent lawns and landscapes. For goose control, Betty, our Border Collie, has become an integral part of our sports turf maintenance program. Town & Country maintains the grounds of many well-known properties. Leave the hard work to us. For grounds management and hardscape services, Town & Country is the help you need. Prompt, reliable service since 1973.
Hi, Kip Road for Colonial Auto Center, your GM Superstore, home of the Colonial 5000. Exclusively at Colonial, get your best price, your lowest payment, and credit approval in 15 minutes or less. We've got our largest selection and biggest discounts ever on Pontiacs, just like this brand new 2007 Pontiac G6, $14,988, no money down, just $249 a month. And remember, if you got a trade, we got a deal. Colonial Auto Center, 29 North, Charlottesville.
Charlottesville's best furniture store is having their annual warehouse sale. Save up to 75% off name brands like Natuzzi. Unbelievable savings on scratch and dent, discontinued, and clearance merchandise. We only do this once a year, so don't miss it. The warehouse sale will continue only while supplies last, so hurry in for the best selection. Now's the time to get great deals at Charlottesville's best furniture store. Under the Roof, 1017 West Main Street in Charlottesville.
Toyota has lots to celebrate in 07. 50 years in America. 15 million Toyotas now produced in North America, and the 2007 Motor Trend Car of the Year, Camry. Celebrate good times, come on! Celebrate with a Prius lease, the best-selling hybrid car in America. For $299 a month for 36 months with $19.99 due at signing. Or go with a fuel-stingy Corolla and get $500 cash back from Toyota. Toyota in America, moving forward.
Well, how about those warm temperatures out there? Take a look at the high temperatures for today. Well above normal, 70 degrees in Greene, 69 in Charlottesville today. The airport did record 71 degrees, and the areas over in the Shenandoah Valley, 71 in Rockingham, 67 in Stanton, and to the north there, temperatures in the 70s as well, and 71 in Fluvanna, 69 in Louisa. Interesting enough, no record highs today. We had a warm spell back in 1932 where we saw temperatures, believe it or not, in the low 80s back in 1932. So, yeah, you think how warm it's been over the last several days and a couple months. Interestingly enough, we've had warmer times at it back in the past. In the meantime, Storm Team 29 Live Triple Doppler is a clean scan, as you can see. We've seen a few sprinkles at times cross the area, mainly to the north. But overall, what the bigger story is the mild temperatures and lots of clouds. And much of that is thanks to a large area of high pressure sitting off the southeastern coast. This is more of a summer-like pattern. And what it's doing is it's pulling in, pumping in a southerly flow of warm air. And so that's helping to keep this frontal boundary, this stationary front, well to the west and north. All the energy with it goes up and around the high pressure system. And so we stay in the mild sector. Occasionally you get some areas of low pressure that work along this. And so when that happens, when they get closer, that gives you that best chance of seeing a sprinkler or two work by. But you can see how much of the energy is well to the behind this frontal system. And that's where it's going to stay, I think, over the next 24 hours. As we pull out and give you a broader perspective of this, look at the active weather. We've been talking about quite a bit of rainfall activity from eastern Texas stretching up through the Mississippi River Valley into parts of Illinois and Indiana and over into Ohio. Flood watches here. We also have heavy icing. Of course, you've seen the stories about the extreme icing going on in eastern Oklahoma, Kansas, and over into central Missouri now, where they are seeing some of that intense icing going on. And then you've got snow behind it as well, heavy snow. So this is quite a very complex storm system. And you're probably thinking, wow, all of this, boy, this has got to move through sometime. Well, believe it or not, that area of high pressure off the coast is actually going to help us keep us dry and weaken this system as it finally does push through. In the meantime, yeah, take a look at all the watches and warnings out there, the greens, the flood watches and warnings. In between here, the purples, those are the freezing rain advisories. And then to the north, yeah, the heavy snow warnings, winter storm warnings, even over in New England. For ski country up in Vermont and New Hampshire and Maine, that's got to be good news. But in the meantime, down in our neck of the woods, we're still in the mild sector, but there are some winter temperatures on the way. And you notice freeze warnings, that's the red in the southwest here. Wait till you see these temperatures. Take a look at this. Arctic air building in from Canada now. And so 3 degrees in Denver, 12 in Helena, Montana, -8 Fargo, North Dakota. And look at the temperature in Oakland, 40 degrees. And that, of course, you saw the snow. We showed you a story earlier on today. The snow in San Diego, yes, that Arctic air has actually made it cold enough for snow there. And that air mass will be shoving eastward eventually by the time as we go into next week. And that will be sticking around for quite some time. Futurecast will show you waves of low pressure moving along this front. Tomorrow morning, much of the same, mostly cloudy, maybe a few sprinkles. Finally, the front working through by tomorrow night into Tuesday morning, and that will be the best chance for rain. But overall, very light amounts and things clearing out and much colder by Tuesday night. Just how much rain can we expect? Again, very light, not a soaker at all. No flooding problems. 0.21 of an inch to the north in Harrisburg, 29, the big winner in Madison. Very light amounts, 0.03 of an inch only to the south. Maybe a few spots not seeing anything. 54 for the rest of your night. Can't rule out a couple showers or two, but mostly everybody staying dry. Very warm tomorrow, 70 degrees. Best chance for showers again in the evening, but only a 30% chance, and 68, much the same and mild. A little bit breezier, though. Southwest winds 10 to 15 and gusts higher than that in the Shenandoah Valley. Your 7-day forecast. Look at the colder temperatures, 39 by Wednesday. That's below normal, and only a slow rise to more seasonable numbers by the end of the week. And we will be right back with more news.
I'm Dara Bonham, Director of KTEC, inviting your business to be an exhibitor at our 5th annual Career Expo and Job Fair this month at Fashion Square Mall. This event gives your business a unique chance to make direct contact with qualified potential employees and to market directly to the public. Contact us today to reserve your space at the 5th annual KTEC Career Expo and Job Fair, Saturday, January 27th at Fashion Square Mall. Hurry, space is limited and it's tax deductible.
There's nothing like an area rug for home decoration, and you'll find the area's best selection of area rugs on sale now at Floor Fashions of Virginia. Area rugs are a fun and easy way to make a change and dress up your living space, from family homes to apartments, even college dorm rooms. Shop Floor Fashions now during our Super Area Rug Sale and get top quality at unmatched low prices. Floor Fashions of Virginia on Route 250 just east of the I-64 interchange. Family owned and operated for over 35 years.
24-hour weather alerts at your fingertips. Join the WeatherBug Network at NBC29.com.
For over 65 years providing quality cleaning service, Rudy's, the Reader's Choice first place in dry cleaning. Depend on Rudy's for expert cleaning and finishing of fine garments. Rudy's offers a variety of dry cleaning services at several convenient locations, so there's always one close to where you live, work, play, or study. You deserve the best in cleaning service. Choose Rudy's in 6 convenient locations. Now in the Monticello Dairy Building off Preston Avenue, Maury Avenue, Pantops, Southside, Rutgers Village in Greene County, and across from Walmart in Waynesboro.
Jared here. Michael Strahan here. Subway Restaurants is known for tasty low-fat subs, like this 6-inch Subway Club. Order a footlong and it's still half the fat of a McDonald's Big Mac.
But the real surprise, it's got twice the meat. Fills me up without slowing me down.
Less fat.
More meat.
Less fat.
More meat.
Less fat. More meat. Less fat. More meat. Less fat. More meat. Less fat. More meat.
More meat!
The delicious footlong Subway Club. Less than half the fat of a McDonald's Big Mac,
but twice the meat.
Subway.
Eat fresh.
Iraqi police say 31 bodies were found in Baghdad and brought to the city morgue today. Many of the victims had been shot and showed signs of torture, and many of those who were killed may have been victims of kidnapping. Elsewhere in the Iraqi capital, a mortar shell hit a house in eastern Baghdad. 1 person was killed and 4 were wounded. Some key congressional Republicans are breaking ranks over the president's new war plan, and now war opponents from both parties are debating how to assert their power. Some want to see troops redeployed. Others want to tighten the Pentagon's budget to make further escalation impossible. But the Bush administration says the president won't give up the fight for a free Iraq. Brian Moore has the latest.
To surge or not to surge thousands of U.S. troops into Iraq? That's the most divisive question in the fiery debate over the president's new war plan, a plan that won't be unveiled for days. Still, congressional leaders are already hotly debating what the president might do.
I support a surge in troops with a purpose.
This is a prescription for another tragedy.
New House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says Congress will support the troops, but won't write a blank check for the war.
We will not abandon them. But if the president wants to add to this mission, he is going to have to justify it.
Though the president hasn't yet tipped his hand, he showed a key card last week in announcing he's replacing his top general in Iraq, General George Casey, with Lieutenant General David Petraeus, a surge supporter who literally wrote the book on counterinsurgency. Back here in Washington, both sides agree change is needed. The question is how.
It just seems to me that the president doesn't get where the American people are. And frankly, he doesn't get where the Iraqi people are. 70% plus of the Iraqi people think their lives will get better once we're gone.
The test here is not just for the president and the American decision. This is a big test for the Iraqis. This may be their last test.
A test with life and death consequences for a people and a nation. Brian Moore, NBC News, Washington.
The Pentagon's new mobilization policy is good news for members of the Virginia National Guard. According to the state's top military officer, the increase in U.S. troops should not require more Virginia National Guard units. Under the new plan, Guard and Reserve members will be mobilized for a year rather than the current practice of 16 to 24 months. More than 2,400 Guard members have served in Iraq since September of 2001. Democratic presidential candidate John Edwards is speaking out against a troop escalation in Iraq. Edwards addressed about 1,200 people at New York City's Riverside Church. That's where Martin Luther King Jr. delivered his famous Beyond Vietnam speech in 1967. Edwards spoke from the same pulpit King used. He was introduced by King's son, Martin Luther King III.
And I also believe that it is a betrayal not to speak out against an escalation of the war in Iraq.
The former senator also called on Americans to resist President Bush's planned troop escalation in Iraq. Senator Hillary Clinton is spending some time with troops in Afghanistan. She led a congressional delegation as she met with soldiers. Senator Clinton was joined by Indiana Democratic Senator Evan Bay and New York Republican Congressman John McHugh. This video provided by the Defense Department shows the three lawmakers eating breakfast with troops from their home states and answering soldiers' questions. The delegation visited Iraq yesterday and left Afghanistan today en route to Pakistan. Well, coming up next in sports, the first overtime game in JPJ history is a wild one. Plus, one former Virginia Cavalier is just one win away from the Super Bowl. Sports is coming up next.
It's tax time again, and at Freebridge Auto Sales, we're once again ready to help with your taxes.
I want a tax refund.
No, sweetie, kids don't file taxes. Where's your mom? How did you get here?
She's looking at that car outside. She's gonna get us a tax refund.
Let us fill out and file your taxes so we can put you in the car you've been wanting now.
Mister, all my Happy Meal was beat. Are they deductible?
Someone find her mother, please. If you're over 18, bring your taxes to Freebridge Auto Sales, because at Freebridge Auto Sales,
everybody rides.
Bootville in Ruckersville offers the area's finest selection of men's, ladies, and children's Western apparel. If you're looking for quality work and dress boots, this is the place to shop. Bootville carries all the major brands, including Lucchese, Abilene, Ariat, Double H, Durango, Georgia, and Justin work boots. They also stock a wide variety of hats for men and women to choose from, as well as classic Outback coats and dusters, beautiful jewelry, and gift items for the Western enthusiast. For the best in boots, hats, and more, visit Bootville.
For breaking news in Charlottesville and Albemarle County, count on us.
Welcome to the NBC 29 Job Spot. Home Instead Senior Care seeks recruiting and retention coordinator to recruit and train the best caregivers in the industry. Experience managing part-time employees preferred. Papa John's Pizza is seeking high-energy team members. Pay starts at $7.25 an hour and managers to start at $10 an hour. Full benefits for all salary positions and matching retirement for all. Java seeks a full-time registered dietitian for geriatric therapeutic food services. Also full-time retired senior volunteer program director. Thomas Jefferson Foundation Monticello seeks experienced security supervisor to manage 24/7 guard staff and a full-time museum security officer able to work independently and use sound judgment. Moore's Electrical and Mechanical Inc. is hiring full-time experienced plumbers, plumbing foremen, and other positions. Good driving record is required. Go to NBC29.com or mooreselectric.com. For job spot information, log on to NBC29.com.
Now that Virginia is into ACC play, Debbie Ryan's team is in for a physical fight nearly every night. And while the veteran players know what to expect, Coach Ryan has raised her expectations for the team's younger players, saying that she needs the first years to contribute more consistently. Coach Ryan saying hello to some of UVA's younger fans today before the game. Once it got started, UVA got going. One of those first years. Monica Wright with the steal, and she cruises in alone. The freshman with a quick two for the Hoos. End of the first half, BC's Sarah Marshall gets it down low. She banks it in. UVA had a 1-point lead at the halftime break. Second half, Virginia comes out guns a-blazing. Sharnae Zoll over to Brenna McGuire for three, and she buries it. UVA led for most of the half, but a late BC run. Catherine Ress gets this one down low, makes a move, dumps it in. The game was tied at 47. The Cavaliers go right down the floor, though, and their floor general, Sharnae Zoll, smooth with a one-handed jumper here. UVA took a 2-point lead, but Boston College would not go away. They come right back. Watch out, Mikkel Pico. The runner off the glass falls. It was tied just over a minute left. The Who's up a point. Sadie Williams, her shot misses, but Linda Littles cleans it up. Virginia had a 3-point lead. Just 10 seconds to play now. Boston College gets it in with a chance to tie. Elizabeth Engel's three. Good, nothing but net. That tied the game, so we went to overtime. The fans at the Jack, they were ready. So we went to the extra period, and the Who's strike first blood. Sharnae Zoll for three. Bada bing, it's good. UVA was back up three, but Boston College comes right back down the floor, trailing by three. Mikkel Pico for three of her own. Yeah, that's also good. The game was tied back up. Just over a minute to play. Still tied. Monica Wright, the freshman, for three. That's good. She hits. UVA took a 3-point lead. Good enough for the game. They hold on for the 65-63 thriller at home. Well, speaking of home, John Paul Jones Arena is home sweet home for the Cavalier men. They play their next 2 games at home. Tuesday night they host Maryland, and a week from today the Demon Deacons of Wake Forest come to Charlottesville. Virginia lost to the Terrapins twice last year, including the last ball at U-Hall, University Hall's basketball finale. Maryland had 2 different leads of 18 points on the day, but J.R. Reynolds had a monster game. The Roanoke native with a big 3 there, and then the nice move inside. That tied the game. Reynolds was the only Cavalier in double figures. He had 30, but sadly U-Hall's final basketball hurrah was not to be for Virginia. Maryland won a thriller 71-70. When the Terps come to JPJ on Tuesday, UVA will be looking for a little revenge. Some ACC basketball from earlier today. Greg Paulus and the Duke Blue Devils looking for their first ACC win today at Miami. First half, Paulus the oop to Josh McRoberts. Duke was up 13 to the second. Blue Devils, yeah, they pour it on again. This time, Lance Thomas, another easy deuce. Duke rolls over the Hurricanes 85-63 for their first ACC win. Former Virginia Cavalier Thomas Jones is one step closer to the Super Bowl after the Bears' overtime win in Chicago today. Jones had a huge game for the Bears. First quarter will pick things up. Well, they give it to Thomas Jones from 9 yards out. He takes it right up the middle. The 9-yard score made it 7-0 Chicago. Second quarter, Bears up 14-7, 4th and 1 for the Seahawks. They go for it. Sean Alexander gets in. The game was tied at 14. End of the first half, 4th and 1 for the Bears. Thomas Jones again, this time from 7 yards out. His second TD of the day made it 21-14. Chicago led at halftime. After the break, Seattle got a field goal, and then trailing by 4, they go back to Alexander from 13 yards out. He's in. Seattle led 24-21. The Bears would kick a field goal to tie it, so to overtime we went. Chicago got the ball. Rex Grossman to Rasheed Davis for 30 yards. It would set up Robbie Gould from 49 yards out. He nails the game winner. Gould's younger brother Chris, the current kicker at Virginia. That's the Bears' first playoff win since 1994. They'll host New Orleans next week in the NFC Championship.
What can I say? You know, I mean, a year ago I'm pounding nails. Now I'm hitting game-winning kicks and going to the NFC Championship. But really, you know, my hat goes off to my team.
Yeah, fast forward to the AFC divisional game. LaDainian Tomlinson and the Chargers hosting the Patriots. Second quarter, LT and the Chargers up 7-3. Phillip Rivers dumps it off to LT. He's off to the races. Takes this one 58 yards and set up a short Chargers touchdown. That would make it 14-3 San Diego. But right before the end of the half, Tom Brady and the Pats charge back. They get this one, Brady to Jabbar Gaffney in the end zone. That cut the Charger lead to 14-10 at the break. Same score in the fourth. LT from 3 yards out. San Diego went up 21-13. Late in the game, Patriots get a score here. Brady to Reese Caldwell. Yeah, that's good for the touchdown. New England was in 2. They go for 2, and the direct snap to Kevin Falk is good. The game is tied, just over a minute left. The Pats go for the game winner, and they get it. Steven Gostkowski nails it. The Pats went up 3. They are moving on, and we will be right back after this.
Ever wondered what it would be like to create something that's seen all over the world? Klockner Pentaplast is hiring qualified applicants to join our production facility in Central Virginia. We're a leading producer of packaging films around the world with 25 years of growth here in Virginia, and we're training local people to succeed in the global business right from their own backyard. Call us or stop by to learn more about the benefits of a career at Klockner Pentaplast. Committed to your career as we are to innovation.
Monday, it's the wildest, most glamorous party of the year. The Golden Globe Awards, live Monday at 8/7 Central on NBC.
Check this out. Is that what you call a chair in Minnesota? It's game time. Bring it. Oh, yeah.
Get the widest selection of your favorite team's gear at NFLShop.com.
Get NBC 29 News and weather updates on the Valley's biggest FM, Star 94.3 Classic Hits.
Okay, guys, so you didn't get what you wanted for the holidays and you've shopped for everyone else. It's time to come to the Men's and Boys Shop for winter savings up to 50% off. Save on suits from Hardwick, Stacey Adams, and Giorgio. Sport coats in Harris Tweed and Pendleton Wool are all on sale. Pendleton sweaters and Robert Bank zip fronts are all reduced. All jackets and top coats are on sale. All shoes from Giorgio, Stacey Adams, and even Allen Edmonds are on sale. So come on down to the Men's and Boys Shop, where we've been fitting guys for over 50 years with quality clothing. That's the Men's and Boys Shop on the downtown mall.
Thinking about improving your appearance?
Augusta Eye Associates could assist you in deciding which cosmetic procedures are best for you. A cosmetic evaluation is just a phone call away. Call today for your free consultation with our cosmetic specialist. Looking good makes you feel great. Visit Augusta Eye Associates I1 Optical. See the difference.
Every Thursday, I see red. The Hook. We love this place.
Well, I guess we're going to get a final check of the forecast before we leave out of here. Not looking too bad for tomorrow, at least.
It's going to be very mild once again. Temperature right around 70 degrees and remaining pretty dry, actually. Not going to see a lot of rain.
All right. Well, thanks so much for joining us tonight. We'll see you.